biggest mistake that you made up to the date in your real estate career that people can learn from?
Yeah. So when I was, I'm 33 years old right now, but when I was 29, I had 9 properties. And my goal in my head was to hit 10 properties before I turned 30. So my birthday was coming up soon, and I'm only at 9 properties. So I mistakenly, the mistake I don't suggest anybody do is I rush to find something. And that kind of goes back to earlier, like don't chase a deal, don't make the numbers try to work. If they make sense, they make sense. And this particular property, it was kind of like in a rougher area as well. And I don't ever buy anything like in D class or anything like that. So, but I did because I wanted to keep my promise to myself or make that goal of 10 properties before I had turned 30. So yeah, I rushed. It was a bad decision. It turned out to be a disaster. Somebody literally stole the garage door and one of the garage walls. Can't make any sense of it. They stole one wall and then stole the garage door.
Wait, say that they stole a wall? I mean, the garage door, I understand because it detaches, but how do you go about stealing a wall?
Disassembled it. They took the vinyl siding off. They took the the plywood. They took all the 2x4s. They disassembled one wall and then took the garage door. So yeah, I've never had.
I'm sorry to laugh at your misfortune, man, but that is a new one. We've heard a lot of things, but I've never heard of a full wall theft before.
Yeah, a whole disassembly, and it was a detached garage, so it had all four. So why did you only need one wall?
Building a fort, just a really awesome fort.
Yeah, with a garage door in front of the fort. Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely a mistake. I should have. I guess there's something to be said of like staying true to myself and hitting that goal and making those promises to myself and keeping those promises. But at the same time, it was a foolish deal. I shouldn't have chased it. Luckily, I didn't lose a lot of money. I think overall I ended up losing like 20,000 or so.
Sure.
So it was an expensive learning lesson, but I made sure all my investors still got made whole and everything. I just had to eat that. But yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing is as I said before, don't rush into a deal. If it makes sense, take it. If it doesn't make sense, make your offer what did make sense because you still spent your time analyzing it.
Sure.
But at the same time, like don't chase a deal.
Well, that's interesting because actually I've been asked that many times, and I've said it actually on a couple of podcasts. Is that I had a mentor actually from a different industry. I was coming up in event production, and one of the best pieces of advice that he ever gave me was be honest with yourself and always keep promises that you make to yourself. But I learned over time, to your point, it's less about being like, I said I was going to do this thing and I have to do it by this day, and more being able to say, this is why I want something. And this is the end result. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. So yes, there is a disciplinary component of that. Like, I'm going to get up and work out. I'm going to do these things, but also the why behind it. And if you can't achieve something or a goal that you've set out for, I guess the question is why, right? Like it's completely okay to say, I haven't found a deal, but have I looked hard enough for a deal? Or have I done the work on this end to find that deal, as opposed to like, oh, I just have to do that. There's a lot of people, you can talk about 1031 exchanges and all those things for days as well. And that's where a lot of people get into some trouble also, is like identifying and, really rushing to try to identify something.